Online education. 14 reasons why you need to change to an online homeschooling program. Every aspect of human life keeps evolving with time. This has been going on ever since we began establishing our civilization thousands of years ago. In the modern world, due to the pace of technological innovation, this evolution happens at an exponential rate. Take education, for instance. Recently, there has been a lot of shift in the way children and teens are educated. From smart classes to online education, students have more options than ever. One of the hottest trends in recent times has been the online homeschooling programs, or online education. It is quickly becoming the next big thing in the education industry. Some say that online homeschooling programs might bring a revolutionary change in how we perceive teaching and learning. If you have been on the fence about it, you may want to consider the slew of reasons why the rest of the world has been making the shift. Number 1. Personalized learning. Perhaps the best thing about online homeschooling programs is the personalized learning experience. In the traditional setting, all students in the class are looked at with the same lens. This means they are all fed the same curriculum, they are taught using the same technique, and the individual attributes of students are not given any attention. All of this is solved with online homeschooling programs. When things happen digitally through software, there is a lot that can be done. For instance, the programs can learn the strengths and weaknesses of a student using artificial intelligence. As the student spends more time on the program, it gets better at figuring out what methods will work best for the student. As such, individual weaknesses can be given extra attention and can be worked upon according to the needs of an individual student. This makes online homeschooling programs the best choice for those who want the next-gen learning experience. Number 2. Motivated students can get ahead. Another area where online homeschooling programs shine is allowing students to get ahead of the traditional timeline. Usually, what happens is that schools and colleges have courses that have a definite amount of time. For undergrads, it could be a 3 or 4 year program. This means that the students are locked in the course for the prescribed time, even though they have the motivation and the capability to finish the course much sooner. This is where online homeschooling programs make a huge difference. Students are given complete autonomy, and they don't have to adhere to a timeline. If they can finish a 4-year course within a couple of years and move on to the next one. This gives them a head start, and those extra years can be extremely beneficial in the long run, especially in the competitive world that we live in. Many students learning from online homeschooling programs have actually gotten their high school diplomas and moved on to college much sooner than others. Number 3. Students can learn at their own pace. This is another great aspect of online homeschooling programs. There are many subjects that any student has to learn. They might find some subjects easy and some subjects really hard. At schools, everyone is taken forward at the same pace, regardless of whether a student has actually learned or not. After all, the entire course has to be finished within the prescribed time. So, teachers are bound to allot only a specific amount of time to each subject. However, in online homeschooling programs, a student can progress forward at their own pace. For subjects they find easy to learn, they can make rapid progress. And for subjects they find hard to understand, they can go a bit slow and make sure that they learn before advancing to the next stage. This aspect of online homeschooling programs will perhaps usher in an era of education where students actually learn the material. This can be revolutionary for the entire world, as it will unleash the potential of hundreds of millions of students worldwide. Number 4. To remove geographical barriers. Right now, students are limited to the cities, towns, or rural areas where they live as far as their choice of school is considered. Only a small percentage of students are actually able to travel to another location to study in better educational institutions. This can limit the potential of so many students who could have otherwise done a lot more. With online homeschooling programs, this issue doesn't exist. Anyone is free to take any online homeschooling programs they like, and from any place. All they need is a computer and an internet connection. Fortunately, these are already widespread, and efforts are being made to make them available where they are not. Pretty soon, there might be a global education market that will be readily accessible to anyone, removing geographical restrictions altogether. This will be extremely crucial for the human race going forward. If you are enjoying this video so far, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and click the alert notification to get notified when we have new videos. Also, check out the description below for some amazing products and services that will help you through this process. Number 5. It's fun and interactive. One thing that most people will agree about the traditional method of teaching is that it is just not fun, and it is certainly not interactive. There are many reasons for this. There can be too many students per teacher, or the teacher might not have the necessary resources and tools to make the learning process more interesting. Thankfully, technology has solved this problem, and with online homeschooling programs, education has become a fun and interactive experience. With the use of graphics, videos, quizzes, tests, etc., online homeschooling programs have made learning an involved process. Students are actually more eager to learn this way as it has become much easier for them to grasp concepts. Take, for instance, human anatomy. Seeing a diagram of human anatomy on a paper is not that explanatory. However, cool graphics showing different parts of the body are more engaging and help clear confusion better. Number 6. Students have flexibility. Everyone is familiar with the traditional timings of schools and colleges. Most commonly, school starts in the morning and goes on until the afternoon or evening, depending on your location. Another common time slot is from the evening till night. Again, this is not much trouble, and students are pretty accustomed to this. But with online homeschooling programs comes flexibility. Now, students can study at their own preferred time. So, if someone feels more alert during the mornings, they can study then. If someone prefers to study at night, they can do that too. Time is no longer an issue. This also allows children to take care of other things without the fear of missing out on class. They can come back and start learning when they like. This flexibility goes a long way in ensuring ease of living. Number 7. No peer pressure. There is a huge psychological aspect to the learning process in the traditional way. Often, this is not talked about. It is that students feel a great deal of peer pressure about a plethora of things when they are in schools or colleges. The way they dress, how fast they learn, what stationery they own, and many other things are topics of stress for children and teens. Teens especially are very prone to negative influences. With online homeschooling programs, all these issues are laid to rest. Since children and teens learn from their homes, they don't have to care about how they look, what they wear, how fast they are learning, how good their grades are, and so on. They can be who they are and can learn to be comfortable in their own skin. Number 8. No chances of bullying and other negative experiences. Bullying is a huge problem in schools and colleges. Despite the best efforts of the faculty, it still happens. Often, things are carried over to outside the premises of the school, and that can be dangerous for the security of the students. As is obvious, online homeschooling programs do away with this grave problem. Students can learn from the comfort of their homes, and bullies can't get anywhere near them. Being able to learn in a safe environment is every person's right, and these online homeschooling programs ensure that. There is another aspect to this. Often, children and teens can learn a lot of bad habits at schools or colleges. It could be smoking, drinking, or even something as serious as drug abuse. Again, with online homeschooling programs, this problem doesn't arise since they are never exposed to those bad elements. Number 9, no distractions. Distractions are everywhere in today's life, and schools are no exception. In a classroom setting, any person may get distracted by their friends, the upcoming assignment submissions, the teacher, and so on. This can come in the way of their learning capability. In fact, it is one of the most persistent problems that students face. They are just not able to give their full attention to the matter at hand. This means they don't take notes properly, and then find it hard to study a topic on their own. With online homeschooling programs, there are no distractions at all. It's just you and your computer. You don't have to listen to your friends' jokes or worry about the upcoming class or any other thing. You can pay your full attention to the screen. In fact, as stated above, the interactive learning experience that online homeschooling programs provide can completely engross students. Distraction, thus, becomes even more unlikely. Number 10, potentially lower costs. While this may not always be true, online homeschooling programs are potentially lower cost options. Traditionally, schools and colleges have a lot of expenses. They need to pay the teachers and other staff. They need to maintain the buildings and countless equipment. They have to organize events from time to time, and so on. All these expenses can raise the admission and tuition fees for students. This is why education has become so expensive in today's world. With online homeschooling programs, it can potentially be cheaper for the designers of the programs. They may not have all the expenses that a school or college has. That is why so many of these programs provide their courses for a much lower fee than traditional education institutions. So, if you go this route, you might end up saving a considerable amount of money. This addresses one of the most common pain points of parents. Number 11, highly effective. Some people may question the effectiveness of online homeschooling programs. Since this way of educating people is so new and revolutionary, there may be concerns. Parents would want to make sure that they are investing in something that can actually help their children. But time and time again, these online programs have proved to be more effective than traditional options. This has been proved in a scientific study. In 2009, the Department of Education conducted a meta-study and found that students who take these online courses actually outperformed other students in traditional classrooms. This is only logical considering the many benefits of online homeschooling programs. Number 12, focus on learning instead of memorizing. Traditionally, in most parts of the world, students memorize the subject matter and regurgitate the same in their exams. This has been the weakest aspect of education in the past many decades. Students and teachers are mostly concerned about exams and finishing the curriculum for the sake of it. As such, they are not actually able to learn the subject matter. They merely memorize it to pass their tests and exams. This has a lot of negative implications. Students don't develop important skills like critical thinking, creativity, reasoning, problem solving, and so on. Only the memory part gets improved, which is not that relevant in a world where all of humanity's information is available in the palm of your hands. The need of today's world is people who can solve problems. That is why a new approach is required in education, where students can actually learn and apply the subject matter to their lives. Online homeschooling programs shine in this regard. Number 13, endless revisions. One of the greatest features of online homeschooling programs is the ability to revise something over and over again. You might think that you have this option in the traditional classroom, but you really don't. Consider the example of a student who finds mathematics hard. If you find a particular concept confusing, they might ask their teacher to explain again, maybe once or twice. After that, they are unlikely to ask again, for many reasons. With online homeschooling programs, though, they have endless revisions. They can keep coming back to a chapter until they finally understand it. That too, without any hesitation. The best part is that they can do this whenever they like. So if they are going to take their exams soon, they might want to brush up on the difficult topics. This is where this ability really comes in handy. Number 14, no commuting required. One of the best benefits of online homeschooling programs is that students don't have to go to schools or colleges to learn. They can do so from the comfort of their homes. This means that they don't have to spend time and money commuting from home to school. It might not seem much, but it can save quite a lot of money yearly. Also, the time saved by students can be put to good use. Parents also benefit from this. Often they drop off their children at school. With online schooling, they don't have to, and so they can use their time somewhere else. In many parts of the world, educational institutions are still not readily accessible. Students have to walk miles or travel insane distances to their schools or colleges. This should never be the case in the 21st century. We have the technology to make education accessible to all. And that is exactly where online homeschooling programs come in. Finally, please make sure you re-watch this video and our other videos. Repetition is key to success. Apply these things. You will thank us later. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.